Yeah, very big welcome to you, my dear Taurus, and of course, always a big welcome to all the other zodiac signs that felt like this constellation. Sun in Cancer, Moon in Taurus has a message for them. So, a cardinal sign, Cancer, is highlighting the waning moon, which is in your sign, my dear Taurus. As you can see, the Rider-Waite, I'm using it as a demonstration. Where's the sun and where's the moon? And today, when we look at the moon, behind it is the constellation Taurus, and the sun, when we look into the sun, behind it is the constellation Cancer. Cardinal influencing a fixed sign. We can see a triangle here, and we can see a triangle here pointing upwards. Now I'm studying these cards because I'm creating my own tarot deck. And of course, if you want to really create something meaningful, you got to study all the cards that existed before, the most important ones at least. And so I have 20 cards lying here that give you a path that has already began the moment you came into this world, the day you were born. So a birth chart would be very important for you, because then you know where are the other planets at the day or at the minute you were born. The last reading was the sun in Gemini, and the message then was: the power of love is to listen from deep within and hear the earth. You had Gemini, you had listening, and you had the High Priestess. So you had a 6-6 portal, and of course then the High Priestess. Now, your court card is the King of Pentacles. If your birthday is between April 10th and May 9th, this is your card. You sit here on your throne, very grounded, very connected to nature, sometimes a little too connected because you're fixed. You value, and that's why you buy only things that have a worthiness that lasts a long time. And so you connect with institutions, with bank, with the church, because you are the Hierophant. You are the one that is bringing the message down. You are the one that is teaching to the red and the white school, the first and the seventh chakra. You are here bringing the message down. Now, the cards that I'm doing are connected with yoga positions, and so here for Cancer I have the Chariot, the Sphinx, the black and the white, or sometimes the horses that pull the chariot, that pull this square out of the city, out into nature, into now the summer begins. We just had on the 21st the summer solstice. And I wanted you to be the one that is in the position of bringing yourself out, which is the Ashwasanchalan Asana. And this is the high lounge or the high horse. And you can see how they face each other. And of course, the body part is the lungs, which creates a dome where we can breathe. The higher up we go, we cannot breathe anymore. Going out of Manhattan and into nature, the Sphinx creates the Holy Grail, with the Cancer coming out, the Yoni Lingam union that is also here, and then of course all the chakras. For you, I created a movement. You sit here, you have the three stages, you have even the mudra of up and down, and you in between the 3 stages. So inhale, you reach from the Fool or from the Tadasana, the mountain pose. You're reaching your arms up into the high priestess, and then exhale, you're bowing down, you're finding yourself here. The information is coming down effortless. Then with effort, we have to go back up and learn and bring what we learned down to the earth, but also we have to go back up and learn again. Now here the institutions or the pillars, right? You are the pillar through a movement. And so here the squares that you're standing on are the institutions, but they are see-through. They are not hiding anything anymore. So we have two elephants in here, and we have the cow, the holy cow, facing each other with the pentagram as a star, as a five-pointed star, like Leonardo da Vinci, standing with the arms and the legs and the head. That is always connected to this triangle pointing down, but also the triangle pointing up is connecting and bringing you the information down. So the power of love is to listen from deep within and hear the earth. So last time the lovers or the Gemini was bringing you deep into the earth, making you really listen how the earth is functioning, how through the hair you are learning to listen. And the first card that came out from the Visconti Sforza Tarot back around 1450, so in the 15th century, were these cards created, comes Temperance. Now the love story here, I'm giving you also a little bit of a history in the first row. The love story here with this card is that the family Visconti had a daughter, the family Sforza a son, and back then money married money or power, and he, the son, was really good in defending the family Visconti, who was very rich. And so the daughter Bianca Maria Visconti married Francesco Sforza, who was good in strategic thinking in the army and who had a professional military and defended the family Visconti. So a big love story, because the children at the end really liked each other and were very successful, and as a gift to their 10-year marriage they painted 78 cards, and each time when you see her it's the daughter, and when you see him it's the son. A big love story. And I got these cards in the month of Gemini. The cups give and take to each other, so it's speaking about coming into your center, coming into here, this personality that knows that everything has to give and take, that it takes two to grow, and it takes two to come into the center. Then comes Oswald Wirth, 1888, were his cards used in the Kabbalistic Rose Cross order that was formed 1888 in France, Paris. The name of this card is L'Impératrice, which is a French word because he was a French Swiss. And of course this order had a very strong number, which is 1888. The 1, the magician, and the 8, the strength, or depending which school, the justice card. And 8 for me is the earth star, is the 8th chakra, is that part within us that understands the Lemurian symbol of infinity, of duality. So in a way this is also like an 8 by bringing the infinite loop of male and female, giving and taking, inhale and exhale together. The number 3 is a holy number because it's the Empress, it's the angel as well that has now here wings. She holds all 12 zodiac signs behind her, which creates a 3 as well. And the 3 is the, again, triangle that's pointing up, and of course also the triangle that is pointing up here as well. But like we know, when Temperance is telling us to bring the triangle that's pointing down and the triangle that's pointing up into the hexagram, which is then the Lovers, which is then the number 6, bring that together, make that a union between the crown, the scepter, and the shield of the white eagle. One foot, particularly the left foot, stands on the half moon and gives her the power to discern and to understand that everything is constantly shifting and changing. Then comes the Hermetic Tarot that was used in the Order of the Golden Dawn, that was also found in 1888 in London. Now, why am I using this one is because Arthur Waite and Aleister Crowley, which comes after, were both in this order. Now here, black and white cards, very interesting, because these cards were used because the cards of MacGregor Myers were never published, but someone, Robert Wing, is publishing them much later, so I include them in the story. Here we see Justice, the daughter of the Lord of Truth. We can see how she's holding with her left hand the scale to her third eye, so we understand that the masculine and the feminine are interconnected, are like a sperm connecting and creating the new life. She holds with her right hand the sword of truth, and we see the sign of Libra above her head, and of course the phases of the moon here, or in general the equilibrium that we bring into the corner, into being right, into being honest, into being the truth. Then comes Arthur Waite, the Rider-Waite, one of the most famous cards that exists now in the world, because he was able to bring to the minor arcanas also a human perspective. So here we see the Page of Pentacles, and just that you know, I have German, French, English and Spanish cards here because I speak 3 languages. And I just want you to also learn a little bit about how the cards are speaking to each other. Even if there's another language, in a way, the language is coming from Latin or from Greek. And so the background of that is always connecting us in the end as a bigger humanity, as a tribe, as a collective, right? So here we have the Page, which are all 3 earth signs, which is Taurus and Capricorn and Virgo. He's standing here holding up the coin, holding up the pentagram, and is actually walking or looking away now from the understanding that Justice or the Empress or these 3 major arcana right at the beginning here of your reading. You have the number 5, which is connected then of course with your 5. So there's already a 5-5 portal. 2 times 5 is the creativity in speaking the truth, in speaking honest, in speaking and bringing the message down, creating a movement, creating a pillar with the in and the exhale. So 3 times you get 3 major arcana right at the beginning. You got Temperance, you got the Empress, and you got Justice. So these are all women, right? So 3 women that stand here and wanting to bring a new awareness into the finances, into the younger generation, how they handle money, how they look at money, and they're holding it up high and giving it its, you know, rightful place. Now comes Aleister Crowley. These were printed in 1920 and Aleister Crowley, 1969. Now here again is a big story. His cards were printed 22 years after his death. So again, a mystical sign and symbol was created. Now we have here the lovers. We have Gemini. Now here you have, of course, a Libra. And of course, this is a Sagittarius. And the Gemini is speaking about a union, is speaking about a marriage, where here the Hermit is holding his protective hands over the male and the female. And it's very beautiful because he is holding her right hand and she's holding his right hand. But their left hand is holding respectively the cup or the action, the wand, and the children again as well hold this, or their inner child is holding as well respectively the cup or the wand. Meanwhile, he's holding the flowers and she's holding a wand in her hands. Here the cosmic egg with the serpent around, the orange lion and the white eagle, and of course Amor, who is bringing the arrow of love down to this couple. A union that is speaking, we must bring male and female together. We must unite always the opposite energies, because that's the path here in this dimension. 1970, Salvador Dali, a great Spanish artist. The Fool is coming up, a spiritual quest that begins, a quest that goes from inside to the outside and back in. So the Fool is saying, yes, you begin a whole new story if you have understood this marriage, the holy marriage within yourself, a holy marriage that's saying find yourself, find your self-worth within yourself, and you are creating now a whole new beginning, a zero, where a zero is no beginning and no end. It's just that infinite loop that we can begin again and again in each life that we're coming here. We can begin again to learn and to grow. Now comes the Hermetic Tarot, and this is very interesting because this was actually created in 1978 by Robert Wang, and this was the Maher's deck that was then of course published only in 1978. Back then he never wanted to publish his cards, but they were the inspiration for the Hermetic Tarot. So of course I'm holding it where it was published, but just that you know that it was actually earlier already used. Now we have the Five of Wands, and the Five of Wands is a test, because all the fives are tests connected to you, connected to the Hierophant. You are tested again and again, and here this is of course Saturn in Leo. You're tested by forces, by wands, by actions, by people who act around you in a certain way, and maybe you don't like it, but also there is competition. There is this side of yours is who is more spiritual, who is valid in his spirituality, and who is allowed to say that, because the moment you say it, you already weaken yourself. You already don't realize that the inhale and the exhale are equal important, and that we have to come into the center and not judge no one the way they do things. So focus into that central energy, focus into the third eye that knows that everything from the center is right, and sees that the inhale and exhale is the duality, is that infinite game of duality that we have to understand here in this dimension. Hermann Handel, 1985, You coming up. This is the Hierophant. This is you now in a position again, the grandfather, the father, and the son who is praying, and understand that the holy light, understand that that energy from within, that sacredness can only be coming from within. And here you are brought with the Five of Wands. You are tested to really know what you're doing. You are tested to really be here in your position, but maybe from a new perspective, growing with the young generation, growing with a generation that's saying, we want to also be heard. We feel things. We want to feel that the church is open, transparent, and just. We want that things have an equilibrium, a middle, an inhale and an exhale. We want to be a movement if it's young and fresh again. And so you see the three generations that are together and inspiring each other. So again, there is this 1, 2, 3, but it's not two people who are looking up to him. It's a family. It's within the family that we can create bigger structures and more important energies to help the world, because then the world becomes a one big family. Now here, the Medicine Woman, 1988, exactly 100 years later, from the Oswald Wirth and of course from the Hermetic Tarot. You see here the Seven of Wands, that is Mars in Leo, saying, so if you are tested, if you are challenged, then you gotta rise above, you gotta go into your 7th chakra, because on your plane, on your dimension, you will not find a solution. You will find a solution on the 7th chakra. 7th chakra, the crown chakra, understanding that when you take action, when you are allowing yourself to overcome doubt, a deeper inner doubt, you have to take action and overcome that. And here we see how she's literally chasing away the spirits that are pushing you sometimes to doubt yourself, right? Now, just to the story of Hermann Handel, he was a soldier in the World War II, and in the end was saved by a Jewish soldier. So that experience made him really question everything in life, and so he got to the tarot and he brought the rune alphabet and the Hebrew alphabet together in his major arcana, and the I Ching, which is a Chinese prediction or telling you when you pick or get that specific lines or dotted lines, then it's that message. So there are divinatory energies that want to help us to become better and to go towards the light. Now the second row comes you, and behind you is the Jade, the number 26. Now you have a 6-6 portal just through Gemini and through the Jade. And also remember, we will have the Moon in Gemini after you. So maybe there is also a message for you in the next reading. But here you are having the message that you have everything you need. Jade is that richness, is that empowerment, is that healing from the heart, healing everything that has brought difficulties to you in sense of material and money. And you know that the Sagittarius energy here is the number 14, which is a 5, and so you have already a 5-5 portal as well. actually a 3x5 portal, right? So 3 times 5 is speaking about the power to speak, the power to be honest, the power to speak up what you have realized in this fighting, what you have realized in this coming together. Now, interesting enough, these two wands together make 12, and we know 12 then becomes a 3, connected to the Empress, the fertility, the woman that is speaking always about let's grow, let's unite, let's create a tribe, let's create a movement. No matter how difficult it's going to be, we are coming together and we overcome all adversity, all difficulties. So here the Jade is protecting you and is telling you, yes, go forward. And the next card is this beautiful lady with a butterfly on her head, and it's the number 48, the Butterfly Garden. And as you can calculate, it's a 12 and again a 3. So here you have then a 3-3 portal. So she is understanding, I'm putting the Jade down, she is understanding that now she needs to create the transformation within her head. Here, the butterfly that is on top of her head, she knows that she needs to be connected always to the transformations, to the changes the new and the next generation brings. And butterfly is that beautiful transformation that we're challenged all the time. And here, this little flower above her head that she's holding dear to her heart, she knows that the heart is the center of all the 7 chakras. The heart, the number 4, right? Or here the 6 is saying, yes, allow the heart always to transform you, always to make you grow into the king of earth. So you coming up again, you coming up as your own court card, because this one I didn't pick. I picked it as a demonstration. What is your court card and where's the sun and where is the moon? So here you come up as the king of earth, strong and determined and willed. You're looking at us, you have horns yourself, you are one of those ancient earthly energies. You are the king, right? You are Taurus. You are the age of Taurus, which was the holy cow, which was the Hindu tradition. And there came a second card, and it's the Wheel of Fortune, number 10. And it's speaking about that you were incarnate into this energy. This is something that you gotta learn. This is something that you gotta study when you're born into this zodiac sign, right? Each zodiac sign creates a circle. Each zodiac sign is helping us to understand a bigger picture, which is then, of course, the sun, which is in the center, the star of our solar system. And here you have the karmic wheel that's speaking about, yes, you came into this dimension as the king, as a Taurus, to learn everything about this kind of spirituality. You get the message, you get the number 3, and you have here the 3. You have the Empress helping you to create whatever you want to create. Then, out of the animal spirit, you got the swan. Very beautiful creature, sometimes a little feisty, right? When we get close to them, they start hissing and they start picking, and they're pretty strong. But the message here for you is effortless creativity, sensitive mystic, and elegant power. When in balance, infinite creative power. The swan represents heightened creativity. In Hindu mythology, the goddess Saraswati, the embodiment of language, creativity, and artistry, rides on the back of this graceful creature. The swan is ready to take us there, to the fluid realm of writing, creating, and reflecting. This potent and healing energy is not to be taken for granted or taken lightly. When the Swan card appears, your soul is calling for attention, for solo time. An inner voice is waiting to be heard, an inner vision likely to be revealed. So you are called through the karmic wheel to now bring your creativity through Taurus, through the age of the Hindu tradition, the Hindu understanding of Taurus, and in a way now to the yogic world, because Saraswati is a goddess of the Hindu tradition. And here we have yoga, which comes from India. And I think you are challenged to now change a few things and mix traditions and bring all the churches together and spread the message of one big family, one graceful family of love that is then shown with the next card, which is Mercury in Virgo. The final step of 10 of coins. Here, the tree of life within this big coin. All the other coins distributed. Then here, the father and the mother with the child and a dog. And here, another 3 children holding hands and dancing. It's this big enjoyment, this family. The world is one big family that is speaking through you, through all religions, because in the end there is only one energy, one creator. We just name it different names, and you are the bringer of this new energy. You are the one that creates a new movement. So really allow now this to come out of you. You even are able to make money with it, right? Because this is a lot of money. So step up and really say, yes, I want to do that. And here comes the last row, a partnership that you're learning now to be, again, a 24. So you have a 24-24 portal. A 6-6, 3 times 6, 666. 3 times 6 is this symbol, right? It's not the beast, it's not the devil. It's the most holy symbol there is. It's a triangle pointing up, it's the triangle pointing down. And here you have the message that you can now, even in a partnership, create something that's lasting, create something that's even more stronger than the number 5. Coming to the 6, the inspiration to get into the 6. And this card is saying, once you have decided to walk your path in partnership, you must put the relationship first. 24, the number 6. So here you are actually shown that maybe you have a Sagittarius, maybe you have a Libra, maybe you have a Gemini, and you have a Taurus, right? Maybe you have the same Taurus in your life, that you maybe want to be in a relationship, because after comes the 4 of Wands. So you already have 5, 7, which is 12, and 4 is 16. 16 is 7. The challenge to overcome difficulties, no matter how many wands. Now you have 16 wands altogether, and that makes the 7, the crown chakra. Learning, understanding, growing through difficulties, staying in your center, no matter how difficult sometimes life is, to bring yourself into your own center and know that you always can start again. And even the Fool has a wand, right? He has the wand in his hand, and even the Empress has a wand. And so the wand, and even here in Gemini, he has the wand. And the wand is that spiritual action, actually into then a marriage. You maybe get married, you maybe get inspired to go out there and say, yeah, I want to know what I can do when I really build something substantial, build something strong with a partner, because I have the financial background to do so and to inspire others. And then comes the 40, the atom. The atom in itself is speaking about the proton and the neutron, which is in the nucleus in the center, which creates again a union between dualities. Always, it's always the same message. You have the ability to combine the masculine and the feminine. You have the ability to create in this holy marriage a union that is protected here by the Hermit, also an earth sign that is shown respect and understanding and love, and you are bringing that forward through the atom, through a new creation, because these two, they will create something new, right? So you have a 4, 4, 4 and 0 again, the Fool, beginning something new, starting something new with the new generation. And here comes the Page of Swords. So same way that the Page of Coins, the Page of Swords is saying we want to look at this world from a different perspective. Please respect us as well. Let's work together, because this young generation, they have solutions where we see problems. And when we work with them, you particularly create a movement with these young people, because they are filled with novelty and wonder and inspiration, and they want to create something really inspirational, because then comes another 6. So you have actually 1, 2, 3, 4 times the 6, the heart, to then come into your center, come into the stars in the sky, realizing that everything is moving in the stars, that everything is shifting, that everything is changing, that the age of Aquarius is coming, and that there is a 4th 6, a 4th understanding of this sacred marriage, the sacred union within yourself, that you have to live, right? That you have to be in the center. You have the 2 pillars, you have the 2 schools, you have the red and the white school, the 1st and the 7th chakra. You have all of that, but now understand that you can live that you can be that, and that you can inspire others to live that as well. What a beautiful message, right? Again and again, I'm always amazed how simple in the end all the cards lead to one thing, is unite within the dualities and become one, and become empowered through now the position of Ashwasanchalan Asana, the high lounge, which is then helping you to create a movement, a big movement that's saying, yes, we want to change, we want to awaken. And so I hope I see you in the next reading, because then the Earth is turning in such a way that we see behind the Sun the constellation Leo, and Leo is here with the 7 of Wands. That's Mars in Leo, and the 5 of Wands, which is Saturn in Leo, right? So you do have a Leo, so you do have a message that's saying, yes, overcome difficulties, tests, by trusting more who you are, by trusting more that you can create something within this triangle. You can create something important, you can create an understanding within the family, and then create, of course, a bigger family out there in the world, a family that is the world family. The world family needs you to show us now that we shift and we change. Until then, I thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.